Welcome to Life on Life's Terms, episode 33, and it's Justin, your host, Justin, and
Kenny.
This is your Thursday show, and we're going to get into dating and active addiction and dating and recovery.
Oh my God.
I know, right? So let's cap off, let's start off with, how was your weekend?
My weekend was awesome. I had my little ones, and we went to the library, and we built robots, and I did some computer work, and we went school shopping.
That's great. This is not their first year in school, right?
No, they're both going into grade 4.
How is that? Is this your first I guess let me walk this back a little bit. Is this your first year watching them go to school, or is this your second year? This is your second year, isn't it?
Yeah. I sent them off last year too.
Yeah. And you got to send them off this year as well?
Yeah.
Togetherness.
No, like they go to different schools. They live on different ends of the city.
Okay. So you fly like Superman from one to the other?
No.
I'm teasing you.
The night before.
Oh, okay.
I got them some new duds and some new kicks.
That's
bags
cool.
And stuff. And
that's all right.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Doing the dad thing.
I would have just like played out that I was Superman. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Flying from stand to end to the city. Shit, I'm fucking there in 5 seconds.
No, I was driving. A car illegally.
There you go. No, he wasn't.
No, I'm
Edmonton
not.
Police. He was not.
No, I'm suspended until 2022.
So, last night, I've been teasing you prior to this show about what I did last night.
Yeah, please tell me what happened last night.
So, I took this girl that I've been dating.
Are you in love?
Well, I mean...
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, really, right?
If she listens to this, like either way, you're getting in shit.
No. So I did talk to her about this before going on the show. So where I took her was Spence Diamonds.
You're a fool.
Hold on, though.
Okay.
So here we are in this place.
You got her a Fugazi.
No, I didn't get her shit. No. We walked in there looking like pig farmers. Just nasty, right? Like we were not dressed at all. I shouldn't say nasty. We just weren't dressed up, right? So we walk in there, and the salesperson was like, you could tell she couldn't take us seriously at first, and then she.
Like, what were you wearing?
Shorts, a hoodie that said "I'm a recovered addict" all over it.
Did it have stains on it? Because you're notorious for rocking stains and not giving a fuck.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this one didn't have stains.
I'm proud of you.
But it definitely, it said Cocaine Anonymous on it, all over it.
Oh, that's classy.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome, right? And then there she is in basically jogging pants, right? And and a sweatshirt, right? That said, "I'm a music lover." Like that's what it was, right?
You guys are two peas in a pod.
Yeah, it was great. So, and I think I was wearing sandals. These sandals, actually, my Jesus sandals.
Those are okay.
And she was wearing, I think she was wearing sandals too.
Crocs. Tell me she was wearing Crocs.
For purpose sake, why not?
Okay.
So there we are in there, and she's laughing hysterically, right? So as we're going through this, making the rounds of the rings or whatever, I look at her and I'm like, okay, so the budget, like if I'm going to be serious, the budget is $15,000. We'll spend $15,000 on a ring. And she looked at me and she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, well, I could do 15. For sure I could do 15. So
just kidding.
No, not really. So then the salesperson comes up and she's right away, not even a fucking a miss a step, you know? She's like, how much are you willing to spend? Straight out. And I'm like, 10. I'm not telling her I can do 15. I'll tell her 10, right? What's the love of my life looking at? She can't get past a $1,500 fucking ring if her life depended on it.
She's a keeper.
Exactly. Now you get it.
I get
now
that.
You get it. Now
Absolutely.
you get it. So this is like I said, this is how you know You don't do this when you're a year in. No. Third date. Fuck it. This is the third date. This was the third date. And I didn't realize how much this played out to like, yeah, this is great.
This opened a good can of worms for you.
Yeah, totally. 100%. I think the most expensive one she looked at was $7,500. So she still couldn't even fit the bill of 10.
I'd be sliding her down to $750.
And then the poor salesperson was looking at her like, he just said 10, honey, and you're looking at a $1,400 ring. You could tell she's like, here goes my fucking commission.
Yeah.
Like every ounce of her fucking eyes. That's what it was, right? So it was pretty.
That's awesome.
It was something. Yeah.
Well, the whole diamond thing is just a made-up hoax.
So I made another joke. Apparently that was not appropriate.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Surprise.
Just imagine, right? So here I am sitting there and I'm like, yeah, we're not doing any of the fucking Fugazi shit. She's getting a real diamond. Oh. She's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, yeah, I have no ethical issues about raping the earth for a diamond. She's like, oh yeah, that's great. Raping the earth? I was like, yeah, that's what you're doing. Did you ask for consent to take those diamonds out of the earth? And so she looked at me like, what the fuck? And then the next thing I said is, well, even if it's African, I'm okay with that too, kind of. And she's like, oh my God. I was kidding.
You're going to get bad feedback for that.
I was totally kidding.
Scumbag.
Well,
just kidding.
You can call me whatever you want. I'm okay with it. So that was the third date. Actually, I can't say exactly where I met this girl. But she is a colleague, so I've known her for a while, within the field, one of the fields that I work in. So that.
How many fields do you work in?
Many.
How many?
I don't know. I guess I have about 4 jobs, in total. And yeah, so I have 4 jobs in total. I don't have to show up to a 9-to-5 office thing, but I probably on average work anywhere from 8 to 16 hours a day, maybe, but it's on my own time.
Yeah. And you're doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
So it's not work.
I'm never slaving away.
Yeah.
But I have to say that was one of the best dates I've ever been on. And I'm serious.
I'm going to try that.
Do it.
Yeah. Because then that way you find out what they're all about right away.
Well, and you see, like I said, I'm serious when I say she could not, if her life depended on it, pick it. All the $10,000 rings were not her style. That's not what she wanted at all. It wasn't. And I even pulled one out that was like 15 grand on the bean of what I could do right then and there. It was like, well, this is the price range. She was like, I just don't like it. And the one that she did like, they were all 1,500.
Well, you want to know what's better than a diamond ring?
Twigs?
Yeah, like anything. Twix. Bounty bar.
So let me ask you, what's the most fucked up date you've had in recovery?
Ooh. What's the most fucked up date you have in recovery? Because that was a loaded question and you already have a story for it. And I'm going to stew on it and pull up a good one.
So my most fucked up date in recovery was doing a 12-step call. I went,
like when you say call, for me, that rings a bell of like pimping and escorting, a call. I got to go do a call.
So this was somebody who was struggling, who called a 1-800 emergency line.
Okay.
Asking for somebody to come to their house to help them navigate through not using that night. And I decided to take my date to a very high-risk situation.
Oh, my God.
And to get this guy to negotiate a deal for him to get back into his house while he was drunk so that he could sleep it off and his wife wouldn't kick him out for the night.
That's romantic. How nice of you. You are a charmer.
Just totally selfless. That was just totally selfless.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Chivalry is not dead.
No kidding. That didn't work out, right?
Oh my God. I don't even have one off the top of my head in recovery. Like I've had some pretty fucked up dates.
I can't really say in active addiction I ever really had a date. I guess, I mean, I tried to. There was a little while, maybe there was a girl.
I haven't had a date outside of addiction.
No?
No, like I'm sober and I'm just having like if girls around me, they're like either my friend or just like a no strings attached friend, or I'm in a relationship and I don't have any no strings attached friends.
You need to go on a date in recovery. You got to try that. It's different. It's completely different.
Maybe I have. Maybe it's just eluding me right now.
Well, what about that time when that girl was cheating on that guy? Were those considered dates? Because you were sober then.
That's vague. That's a vague statement for me.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly.
Junie. The Junie episode.
Yeah, that was like a relationship.
Yeah.
That was like an affair.
So there was no dating prior to the affair?
No, that was just like pull and hold action.
Wow. So you're not really the dating kind of guy.
Well, like a date, like
what's a date?
Like you want to go in the back seat of your car?
Just picked him up off the corner. No, like I mean, you go to a nice restaurant or you go to the theater or something. Not like a movie, but like a theater.
No, dog, I bring my kids on dates. I bring my kids to the theater. I bring my kids out for dinner.
Yeah, but I don't mean like a movie theater. I mean like
an opera theater? Or
it doesn't have to be opera. It could be a play, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or the museum.
Oh, bro. No.
No, not your thing.
No.
What about
Netflix and chill? That's a date. That's a date.
That's pretty like that's pretty like you're just in for sex.
No, I'm not. Just sex is the best part.
But there's no run up to like there's no date prior to the sex in your world.
Well, like I'm sure there is, but it's totally overcome. Like I don't have the memory of the date anymore.
Oh,
I just have the memory of the sex.
Interesting. Huh. So I could definitely slip into those shoes. Especially in early recovery, I did that often. Like go to a meeting, find a girl, go for coffee, figured that was a date, and then nail her afterwards.
Yeah, that's a date. Coffee's a date.
Okay, so not really. Kind of.
Yo, dog, I'm suspended until 2022. What am I going to do? Pick the bitch up on the bus?
Yeah, but
hey, let's go for a bus ride. I got a bus pass.
But there's also this.
You got pitchins for your fare?
Okay, true story.
I'm a student.
True story. So I was not. I'm not going to say where I was. I picked up this. I picked up this girl at a bar. I'm not going there either. It's incriminating, kind of incriminating. Okay. So anyways, I picked up this girl at a bar, and I promised her that I was going to give her breakfast and a ride home the next morning. Literally gave her a bus ticket and coupons for fucking McDonald's and asked her to leave because she smelled like shit.
You told that story already.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, and you turned the fan on and she was like, oh.
No, this is a different girl.
Oh.
This is a different girl. That girl was here.
Why didn't you just take her in the shower then if she smelled like shit?
I don't know, because I'm drunk and I didn't want to lose my buzz, probably. And cocaine's expensive. It just gets rid of it. So let me ask you, what's a fucked up relationship and active addiction?
All of them. They were fantastic. I was seeing this one chick, and she would want to go and do crime, and then have sex while we were robbing somebody, or breaking into a place, or stealing a car. Yeah,
that's strange.
She was fun.
That's strange.
Shout out to Angel.
Oh my god. That's strange though. I mean, that's some fucked up.
Yeah, that's the adrenaline.
Right there.
Are we gonna get caught? Boom. Boom. Big O. Oh the big O touchdown.
Oh my god, man.
I know.
That was fun. That's deep.
What
Was
about
that
you?
love? Was that,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
so? What
I love everybody though.
So in active recovery, active addiction.
I tell all the girls that I love them
I was a
because I do. I really do.
well. I'm glad that word has special meaning for you.
Yeah, it does. There needs to be another word than love. Love is so like, meh.
I think it depends on how many times you use it. You know what?
Well,
you know,
if they say God is love and love is everything and love is the most important thing in the world, then fuck, we should be saying love all the fucking time. We should be loving everybody.
I'd put it to you this way. I think when you start,
Justin, I love you.
I love you too.
See?
But I can say this in a way because I understand what unconditional love means to me today. See, before times when I thought I knew how to care for myself, I could say love all I wanted, but it didn't matter because I didn't really love myself because I didn't understand how to care about myself. And when I really looked at my inventory or myself at that time, I really didn't like who I was. And so on a daily reprieve to push off shitty committee and beating myself up mentally, like I'm the guy who will take an emotional axe to my emotional leg and chop that fucker off because I broke a toothpick, right?
So you'd rather have no emotion than a shitty emotion?
No, what I'm getting at is by keeping a reprieve and not being that shitty committee negative person and allowing that to creep up on me, I have to actively be better tomorrow than what I was today. Yeah. And this shows me through my actions how my actions show me that I love myself. For instance, as we've depicted many times in this podcast, working out, humbling myself, being emotionally secure, so on, and being of service allows me to be able to care for others and care for myself as a reflection. So now that I understand what unconditional love is to me, I'm able to attribute that to other people. And the reason why I can attribute that to other people is because that's where the meaning of love comes from. So if I'm going to say the word love in the context of a definition, it's subjective to the person's understanding of what love means. You see what I'm saying?
So it depends on the person that you're saying it to.
It depends on how you feel about the word. What kind of emphasis does it mean to you? Right? Because that's a reflection of how you're feeding your own love. There is, and I'm going to
have like a serious conversation with somebody and connect with them on like an emotional and spiritual level,
yeah,
I love them.
That's great.
I love them unconditionally.
So okay, let's get into this. So in active recovery, I was discerning for the priesthood. And discerning for the priesthood for the Catholic faith, I was also dating a little ways into this.
The priest?
No, I'm not gay. I was dating a girl, and we're going to keep names anonymous.
Okay.
So as I was dating this girl, what was fully understood in that relationship is if I felt the need that I couldn't be married and be a deacon and decided to become a priest, that's what I was going to do. So this is where, if I'm going to dare to compare this relationship to that relationship, these are the comparisons. In that old relationship, there was no physical sex. And the reason why there was no physical sex was because I was discerning for the priesthood.
Because there was a lot of masturbation.
No, it can't do that as a person who's observing vows. So basically what observing vows means is that you live your life by looking or by living within priestly vows, which means poverty, chastity, and obedience to the church.
But if you don't use it, you lose it.
We're going to get into that.
Okay.
Because I was going to talk about impotency in this episode, more so on the opium side of things, but it's crossed many different categories. But we'll get
opium,
there.
cocaine,
yeah,
methamphetamine.
A lot of it does that. So
steroids.
Back to that old relationship. There was no physical connection, and because I was working with so many people at that time, I would get emotional and spiritual connections, very intimate connections with many different people, and the person that I was with would get jealous time and time again because of this.
Because you're fucking other people mentally,
basically.
Yeah.
Right. It really was not fair to her, And so what ended up happening was
That's not fair
obviously
to you.
well, it was a very, very dysfunctional relationship because of that. But, and
She
this
was
is,
extorting you.
but this is, well, no, I think it was mutual between the two of us.
Mutual extortion.
So the biggest but from this, without having gone through discernment for the priesthood, I would have never learned how to care for myself in an individual capacity. So for like the last 2.5 years, I haven't been in a relationship at all. And by not being in a relationship, what this allowed me to do was learn how to be spiritually independent, emotionally independent, financially independent, and self-sufficient within my finances, as well as emotional and spiritual well-being. And then also gained the hold of my physical, how to honor myself physically, take care of my temple, so to say. So that's what discernment gave me. And this is what's allowed me to be a better person today in order to be mentally healthy, physically healthy to a point, and increasingly getting better at that, as well as being financially self-sufficient. Okay, that's what this is. That's what discernment has allowed me. It was a break from sex. It was a break from emotional crutches from the opposite sex. It was a break from spiritual crutches from the opposite sex as well. Because what I found that I did, and I think I've expressed this before in the podcast, is that I would get to know myself, and then all of a sudden I would turn around and be like, oh, look at that. She's nice and shiny. I'm going to go distract myself. And that was right at the precipice of just learning how to like myself, never really understanding how my higher power unconditionally loves me, right? I had to learn that from my higher power before I could even provide that to myself. And today I can provide that to myself. I really don't give a shit when anybody calls me, because my personal opinion about myself is nowhere near what people can say to me, because the only goals that I judge myself upon are those goals that I knock down every fucking day.
Sad.
Right? So as long as I keep that in perspective, well, I'm just being perpetuated forward to the next best thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now that I'm in a relationship today, well, what am I bringing to the table?
The best.
I was able to say to this person,
ever.
I'll spend $15,000 on a ring today. Go do your worst. And it didn't, the person that I've attracted from doing what I do day in, day out is a person who said, the best one I like is $1,500. And it had nothing to do with money.
Bro, she wants to live in the barn with you. The mafia boss in the barn. The mafia boss lives in the barn.
So I think, I mean, and you get, I think you get back whatever you put out there, right?
Have we told the listeners about that?
Oh, when you're making money, go live in a hayloft?
Yeah.
So that's an old mafia saying where so the old dons way back in time in Italy, what they would do was when they were making a bunch of money, so that other people wouldn't be jealous of them, they would live like a peasant. So the way how you knew a boss is he would be living in a hayloft, because how could you be jealous of the man who's basically giving everything to his family? See, this thing about mafia and the Italian mob, what people don't recognize about this is that it was for peasants. These people, especially in Sicily, were overran all of the time. And so basically when you chose or you decided to become part of the family, you did this so that your family members, like your sons, your daughters, your sisters, your brothers, nieces and nephews, could all be something better than the ghetto or the rural area that you come from, right? Because geographically, wherever you're from was a disadvantage. It's not so much like that today because of internet, so on and so forth, but that's basically why it happened. And there used to be a law in the Italian mafia where if your dad was a part of it, his children could never be a part of it. And the reason why that was because if the dad ever got whacked out by the commission, the children would never want vendetta because it's not business, it's blood, right? But now it's not, it's lost its way a lot of the way. So there's always that saying, when making money, go live in the hayloft. And that's so that nobody knows that you really have any money. Look at that. You're growing your man mane out.
I'm growing the beard.
Son of a bitch. Look at that.
So one of the girls, she doesn't listen to this anyways. So the girl that I've been seeing, I can't believe I said that. So the girl that I've been seeing the most,
Yeah.
she hates beards. Beards are gross. She says, "Oh, don't touch me with that beard." And, I was really contemplating it. I'm like, if I grow this beard, I'm not going to get to lick her butthole.
Huh.
Right?
Yeah, that could be an issue.
But at the end of the day, when the beard comes off and the mustache is there and it's impeccable, it'll be so worth it.
Just make sure that none of the hair goes past the top lip and into your mouth. That's disgusting.
No, it's getting curled up like Mario or Luigi.
So you're not going to take it off after
Charlie
November?
Chapman. Oh, yeah, I'm going to rock the beard right up to November, and then I'm going to hack off the beard and leave my mustache for the month.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
to do that too.
I got a comment on
cop stashes.
I don't know if I could bring myself to that.
Yeah, don't give me that shit.
I did get a comment on Instagram. They're like, "Hey, you should really keep the beard. It looks good."
It does look good on you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, I watched your video before I came here. I was just after I was done at my volunteer thing. I had an hour to burn, and I didn't want to sit with you for an hour. So I went and sat in a park and just like kind of got in my zen and just chilled, right?
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through social media as I was counting down the minutes before I had to come here. And I seen your video. And like I look at your face and it looks way better with a beard. You're a beard man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I might keep it. I might shave it off.
Well, you have to shave it off for November, but then grow it again.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I had a big, what do you call
You're
that?
a fucking ginger, man. Nothing's better than a big red beard.
I had, what do you call that? Like those hipster beards? I had a hipster beard.
You're not a hipster.
I know, but I had one. and it was, it's difficult to get donations when you look like a hobo.
It made you look like a greasy biker.
Oh, the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, though, I was a lot heavier then than I am now.
You just put your keyboard killers patch on.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right? That was awesome.
But realistically speaking, you could these hackers can fuck up more shit than any like small biker arsenal. Fucking let a hacker fucking ramp it into the government. He's gonna fuck way more shit up than a fucking crew of thugs.
Yeah, that's close to home.
Yeah.
We can't talk about
We're not going to talk
cyber crimes.
We're not going to talk about that.
That's way too close to home. So it sounds like to me that you don't have just one singular girl. Are you out on the land? Like, are you out on the land right now?
I'm in.
So you're a real fucking lion, are you?
I'm a fucking scumbag. Wow, way to put me on the spot. I'm kind of in an open relationship.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I love her. I love her. She's my favorite. But it's just open because we're not at a point in either of our lives where we can just like go full bore into it.
Okay.
So we're just chilling.
That's cool.
And it's the best sex in the world.
When I was pimping, it was like that.
Yeah.
Because it's never...
You don't have one girlfriend, you have 20.
You cannot be monogamous when you're pimping at all.
I'm not pimping.
What we would do, though, like... I
don't believe in monogamy.
Let's go into that. Why?
Well, like, why would you want to stay with one person forever and ever? Amen. Like, I don't, think that... I don't believe that if they don't want you to be with other girls then or another partner, then that's a mutual respect that you're going to have with each other. That's a conversation that you're going to have and settle that. You have to come to a mutual understanding. But, we're only physically attracted to somebody for from what I heard is 10 years. And then you lose an attraction to them. And especially if the last few years, that 10 years gets kind of rough, emotionally, and you kind of just start not caring as much, why the fuck would you want to drag that out and just be with one person?
So let me ask you this. What if, so I had this conversation a little while ago with the person that I'm seeing right now, and they were like, well, if this is the best it is, like the honeymoon phase, so to say,
Yeah.
It's just going to get worse from here. And I'm like, well, that's kind of a shitty outlook. Why don't we look at this as 0.0 and it's going to get better from here? And because see, you know what? So I've learned this because of the time off of 2 years.
Yeah.
I learned this in that, sure, there's physical attraction, but what attracts me the most is an independent woman. A woman who can like recognize her shortcomings emotionally and spiritually even, and then just basically say, hey, you know what? I need to go work on this. And they come up with a solution and they're solution orientated. That's cool to me. That's very, very attractive in my opinion. And I think that can keep on happening over and over again. So if you're both working independently of each other in order to earn the relationship, I mean, in my humble opinion, I don't think that attraction can really stop. You know what I mean? Because you're utilizing life to show the beauty of the person that you're with, right? You're allowing that adversity to be like, oh, wow, look at you overcome that. That's so cool. And you didn't even need me? That's amazing.
That's pretty condescending.
that's the way how I feel about it, right? Because this is the way how I see it. I work really, really hard to be healthy on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
And so being healthy on a daily basis, the way how I see that is I get to be in a healthy relationship because of that. My partner or this person that I'm seeing can see all of the adversity that I've been challenged with. And because they see that adversity and know that I can handle that independently, the times that I actually do need them is very far and few in between, which means, Kenny, I'm not codependent. That's what that means.
Should I start a slow clap for you?
But it takes a hell of a lot of work to recognize your codependence.
I'm codependent.
It's,
I do need emotional connection.
yeah.
Like for that 3-day retreat, like even if I get emotional connection from you, I need human interaction.
That's cool. So do I. But I think the thing that where it becomes toxic is when we need them to give that to us, right? It's different when we're swimming in an ocean with other fish, getting that energy off people, than it is to be like, I need to hostage take your energy, right? Because that's codependency. And this is the other thing. As much as they say being strong, like to admit that you're an addict in order to change is strong, that's the same thing with codependence. If you can admit that you're codependent, then what ends up happening is you're more likely willing to change that. Because if there's anything that has always let me down, Kenny, is this. Humans have always let me down. Places have always let me down. What's never let me down is the higher power that I've come to understand, God or odd, whatever you want to call it. That's just what helps me. But the next thing to that is my higher power is the thing that teaches me in order for me to love me unconditionally and be able to go ahead and look at adversity, stare it down in the eye, not run away, be able to deal, accept what it is, and move on. And what does that allow me to be to my partner? Somebody who's independently self-sufficient.
Whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That in itself means I'm not codependent. And to restructure our lives not to be codependent is difficult because our phones are made for us to be codependent. Social media is made for us to be codependent. Every fucking thing that we have in this life is asking us to get something, some feeling from something else, as opposed to it being derived independently from us.
We're all externally seeking dopamine junkies.
This was a question that a Buddhist gave me a little while ago. They said, are you perpetuating positive energy or are you sucking positive energy?
Ooh, I like that.
And when they said that to me, it was like at that moment, because this was early in my discernment, I was sucking positive energy. I needed other people around me to be positive so that I could be positive. Because the second I was left to myself, shitty committee came out and beat the living piss out of me. Right? Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. And I just fucking smashed myself in my emotional face all fucking night long thinking about how can I be better, when instead all I was really thinking about was how shitty I was. So now, what is it today? I don't have to think about how shitty. Sure, this is shitty. Okay, well, what's the fucking solution? So if I can comprise the solution, I'm moving forward. Right? Now I'm a positive energy giver. I'm not a sucker anymore.
I agree with you. And I'd like to think of that as myself too, that I perpetuate good energy everywhere I go. I bring people up. I'm always way too fucking optimistic. However, I'm still a needy little bitch sometimes.
Yeah. And I think, like you had said that you wanted to read that book, Codependent No More.
Yeah. And Martin Vu, who has my book. I'd like it back, please. I'm going to call him after this and tell him I said his
I'll
name.
just give you a fucking copy. Because after you read the book, I'd like to have an actual discussion about it. Because there are serious things in that book that Melody Beattie, shout out to Melody Beattie, she
great author.
She's amazing. She really exploited. But we also have to recognize that codependency is a very, very controversial theory, right? Like I had heard just a little while ago that empathy is actually poison.
Empathy is poison.
Yeah, from Jordan Peterson. So would you like to hear the premise?
Yeah, explain this to me, because that doesn't make sense to me at first.
It does make sense to me now. So empathy is great, provided that you say, okay, that's an issue. I get it. Yeah, shitty situation.
Yeah.
But where it needs to stop is here's the solution, go and do it. And if they decide to not go and do it, that's where your empathy stops. Yeah. Because now what we have done is we have now enabled them because our empathy has become poison. And we're not helping anybody. We're actually wallowing in self-pity with them.
Yeah, and we're like perpetuating their self-pity.
Yeah.
I like that. That's so good.
So Jordan Peterson, shout out to Jordan Peterson. That was something I heard on his Joe Rogan podcast. A little snippet, little clip. That was pretty good. So let's talk about impotency. This happens
to the best of us at the worst times.
Isn't it always the worst time?
Yeah.
So you want to hear a solution that can work?
Viagra.
Male Kegel muscles.
Oh, I do my what's it called again?
Male Kegels. So I think it's called flexing your prostate gland.
No. Oh, maybe.
Yeah. It's basically clenching your ass so that your prostate gland can push testosterone into your balls.
I do ass Kegels all day. Like, I did 7 years in jail, bro. I do ass Kegels.
Yeah. So,
oh my God. For
any of you who have impotency from drug use or you just came out of discernment,
ass Kegels.
Ass Kegels, they work. 100% they work. So, why is it that...
If my personal trainer teacher... If my instructor was listening to this, he'd be cursing me right now for not remembering the name of it. There's actually like a real name for it. It's called something floor.
I don't know.
Fuck. Go on.
So opium, the reason why opiate users become impotent is because they cannot decipher their dopamine levels anymore.
Yeah.
Their brain just doesn't feel them. And I think the other thing is, so with meth addicts and cocaine addicts, when you're in early recovery, sex is bad for you. And the reason why it's bad for you is because it gives you an endorphin rush very similar to those drugs. However, cocaine is only 120% more than what an orgasm feels like. And methamphetamine is 1,200% more in dopamine giving than what sex can give.
Especially when you smash it.
So what ends up happening when you have sex is you're actually jonesing for your drug of choice. This is why they say to addicts in early recovery, don't get into a relationship for the first year. But guess how many of us know that works? None, because nobody's ever done it.
We all get into relationships quick.
Right away. Go to a meeting, find a date. Guess what you get? Guess what you end up with? Herpes.
You can only catch it once.
Thank God.
And then after that, then you're contributing to the flow of life.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Did I forget to tell you that I have herpes?
Do you really?
No, I don't.
Thank God. Thank God, because that's a travesty. Not really. I mean, I guess there's a lot of people who have it these days.
No, it's not even that big of a deal.
Go on.
Well, just don't do skin-on-skin contact if there's a breakout. If you see red dots, don't touch them.
There's the tip of the minute. Right there. You see red dots on genitalia. Don't touch it. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is fucking crazy.
I just really hope that we're providing value to the listeners.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what's the worst, what's the most awkward time of impotency that you may have ever been faced with, or somebody that you know has ever been faced with?
Every time is awkward that it happened.
So let me ask you, what are the feelings behind that when it happens? Has it happened to you in recovery?
Once. It's like, I was like, am I really going to bang this chick? Oh my God, she's so hot. She's way too hot for me. Oh my God. And then it's like, I had a scared dick. It was like scared. Like it didn't like ruin the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it got going eventually. But at first I was like, I don't know what's going on here. A little help.
Yeah.
Little help. And then it took a while, but like I felt inferior. I felt
it sucks.
Like I wasn't a man.
Yeah, your masculinity is very, very much diminished, right? In that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Have you ever used dick pills? Like
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Which ones? Did you use?
All of them.
Really?
Just for fun.
Like in active addiction or in recovery?
In addiction. I used to just like, if I'm going out, boom, Cialis, just you're walking around 3/4 cocked, ready to rock and roll at any given time. Your recovery time is like way up there.
There you go.
And if you meet the girl of your dreams, you can perform like a superstar.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But then you become addicted to that because then you don't want to have sex without it because then you underperform.
Yeah, because it fucks you up mentally, right?
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of those Supermans, like those homemade Viagra Cialis mixes. Those are not good.
Sex better in recovery or addiction?
For the longest time, I would say I'm not even addicted to drugs. I don't even like drugs. I'm just addicted to sex on drugs.
Really, eh?
Yeah. And I used to affirm that shit all the fucking time.
But you did use meth, right?
Yeah.
Like that was your drug of choice?
Yeah. And GHB.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So where are you? Would you rather sex in recovery or active addiction?
In recovery, because my life is 1,000 times better.
Sure.
Like sex is just sex. I still have the rest of my life.
So you know what I realized that recovery has given me is that I'm not selfish anymore when it comes to sex. So in active addiction, I just, you bang some broad.
Some broad.
Yeah.
So misogynistic of you.
Whatever. You bang some chick in active addiction because you really didn't give a fuck. It was like throwing away a condom. You know what I mean? Because there's no love. It's all self-loathing and you're just trying to hurt yourself really in almost every action that you make. So then what I had realized was now in active recovery, life is not like that. Sex is way better in active recovery. Fuck, you remember it for the most part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a gift that just keeps on giving.
Like herpes. Herpes isn't that bad.
I don't know. I mean, I've never been exposed. I probably have been exposed to it, just
And you just don't know.
lucky enough that
They just didn't tell you.
I didn't catch anything from it. You know, I mean, I think it's a very contentious issue. I give a lot of respect to those who have to out themselves in a new relationship every time.
Yeah. Yeah, that takes a lot.
It's a lot of balls to do that, right?
Yeah. I was in a relationship with a girl who had herpes.
Yeah.
And like, get this. We didn't have sex for a month.
Because of it?
We went on dates. There we go. Now I got memories coming back. We went on dates. I took her out on dates for dinner, go for walks in the park.
Yeah, yeah.
I took her to see sights.
Yeah, yeah.
Took her out for drinks. Took her to Sylvan Lake, which is like a shitty lake outside of Edmonton, but it's kind of touristy. They have water slides. I took her there, hotel. She wouldn't put out. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is she making me wait? She made me wait, and it was like, but she would tease me. I was so hooked on her after this. I was so hooked on her.
Yeah.
And like when she told me that she had herpes, I wanted that thing so bad. I didn't care if she told me she had AIDS.
You know what?
Because she made me wait.
And
I was persistent.
You just totally validated all the stuff that I had said, and you were like, I would rather have multiple, like I would not want to be monogamous. I'd rather have multiple people in the classical dating and all that stuff. You're like, yeah, I'm not into that so much, but you just proved why.
Yeah, bro, that was like 10 years ago.
Yes.
That was 9 years ago. No, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, still though.
Times have changed.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just...
For now, I might swing back to the other side.
Maybe.
Chivalry is not dead.
I mean, I guess...
If I find the right person, then I'll find the right person. But right now, I don't have any of those lovely ladies that I can bring out on dates and bring home to meet my mom. I don't have any of them around.
Fuck, you know what? I think this one can meet mom. After I just took her to go look at rings.
Don't tell that. Well, tell that story to your mother. Your mother will be like, keep her.
I don't know. My mom...
Either that or she's going to be like, yeah, she's trailer trash.
Well, my mom's a tough cookie. She's one of those moms where nobody's good enough for her son, right?
Yeah.
And my mom's never met any other woman in my life. So that's probably a me issue that I put my mom into. I just had nobody to really show her. What am I going to show her? The prostitutes that are working for me? I mean, look, Mom, you want to see how I'm paying the bills? This is it. Like, you have nothing to say, right? Like, look, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole because you're going to get sued for that fucking statement. What do you got going on this weekend? There's things doing around here.
Oh, I pray to God that my parents leave for the weekend so I have the house to myself. That would be so nice.
So this episode was a ramp up to that?
Well, yeah, because then I can have a date over and be in my own bed. Because I can't bring girls home. You know what I mean?
Date over.
Yeah, there's my date. Come over to my house, Netflix and chill.
I want you to define date to me.
Cuddling. I'm a cuddler.
Okay.
I like to cuddle.
Okay.
And I like to get all the way naked.
Yeah. That's a date.
And like I'll always like put on a movie, but I never ever watch it.
So you know what I'm kind of interested in? I'm pretty sure that we have female listeners.
I know, they probably hate me right now.
Somewhere in this world, but I want them to go to our new website at www.lifeonlifestermspodcast, all one word.com. We'll probably plug that again at the end of the show. And come message us about if you would accept Kenny's definition on what a date is.
Or love.
Or love, yeah. Yeah.
Like, and check out my Instagram and you can like see my personality and like the way I am. Like, I'm just a loving guy. Like, I just love.
What's your Instagram?
Kenny_Cantrell. CANTRILL.
There you go. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think this whole dating thing for recovered addicts, or just dating for millennial men, really is it's a very contentious thing. I think there's a lot of guys out there who aren't getting laid, and the reason why they're not getting laid, or even in worthwhile relationships on both ends of the spectrum, if I could say that, is because they don't understand how to care for themselves. We have been products of an environment that have been teaching us how to get our feelings from external places, as opposed to internally creating how we love ourselves. Our parents have been loving us to death for a really, really long time.
I'd like you to just go back just a second and say that statement again about we live in a society where everybody searches for feelings externally.
Yeah, as opposed to internally.
We are the generators and creators of our thoughts, and our thoughts will weigh heavily on our feelings. They can. You can generate a feeling right now. In your heart, you feel gratitude.
See, so I'm going to explain why I said can. You and I can, but a psychopath can't. So instead of generalizing everybody in the world, this is why I say can. Because there's always the one off. And I don't like the argument of, the one off, because it just doesn't make sense to me. But if I can adapt that within a saying by saying can, I'll do it. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're totally right. We can generate feelings by thought, And then I think when it becomes real is when it's been done. It's like this. You can love yourself because you masturbated. Great. That's not really a feeling of love. That's a feeling of euphoria from synapses and from dopamine levels that have kicked off in your head. That's not a feeling of love. However, that is the feeling that you got as a child when your mother looked at you in your eyes and she was holding you in your arms. Kid you not. Those are called implicit memories. Okay?
It's creepy.
Yeah, it is strange. This is why we all look for our mom and our partners.
No.
Yes. That is a reality. There's qualities that we look for. And same thing with women. They do the same thing with men. There's qualities of the man that they really like that are attributed to their father, right? Anyways, because these are the alphas in our life, right? It's like this. You would never procreate, and this is going to be harsh. I'm sure somebody's going to give me a huge fuck you somewhere on this. So I would never procreate with a beta in my determination of what a beta would be. So why is it that I like an independent woman who is self-sufficient in their own emotional stability? Because they can internally emotionally satisfy themselves to a degree.
So you don't have to?
No, it's because that's attractive to me. And why is that attractive to me? Because that's a strong person in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm attracted to that. Right?
I like that too.
If that's the case, when they do need my emotional security or my emotional help, I know that it's needed. It's really needed.
And then you really want to give it.
That's right. They're not just a sucker for my positive energy. They're not depleting me, right? They're not depriving me. They're helping me get more as I am with them.
Yeah.
There's compliment all the way through the day for us to be the best people that we can possibly be, back and forth. And when they come up and they say, this really feels like shit, can you help me with this? Yeah, because I've seen you go through some stuff that's pretty shitty before and came through the other side great independently. So this time, yeah, I totally get it. That's when empathy works, because then you say, okay, let's now look at a solution together.
Yeah. And
let's walk through this together. It's not so scary, right? That makes sense. But to sit in empathy and say, yeah, then it becomes toxic.
Shitty.
It becomes toxic.
Oh, I feel for you.
Yeah.
Feeling for them is sympathy, though.
That's right. Empathy means you can actually stand in their shoes. Been there. I know these feelings.
See ya.
Yeah. Let's
go.
Yeah, let's get through this.
Yeah.
Let's move on. This is a solution.
Yeah, let's find a solution. Yeah. I'm 100% pro solution. There are no problems. There are only possibilities.
That's right.
Sadhguru.
That's right.
I seen that today.
So next week's your week?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I have a confirmation, but I'm not going to say anything.
Excellent. I've got somebody coming in tomorrow who I think will be good. And so this is the Thursday show wrapping up right now. You want to? Yeah, you want to finish this up?
Shout out to our lawyer Liam Connolly at Connolly Law.
Best fucking lawyer in town.
I suggest you guys Google Liam Connolly if you need a lawyer.
Yeah, bail, whatever,
anything.
Yeah,
please. Our merch.
Oh yeah. At the end of this week, we will have T-shirts coming out.
Is that when we're making the order?
That's when we're making the order.
Yes.
So. Yeah, the end of this week. So, I don't know. Let's say the end of next week.
It'll probably take like 2 weeks.
No. I think they told me about a week.
Okay.
But if they didn't, we're going to fucking totally out them on the show, and then you guys can bitch. Kidding.
Is there anybody that I want to out right now?
I wouldn't if I were you. Just to be nice. It's not nice to out people.
There was like this green Donair truck at the Fringe.
Oh, yeah. You can hit that one.
I wish I had the fucking picture still. When we went to the Fringe, I ordered a Donair, and it literally had one slice of Donair meat down the center of it that was about 1.5 inches thick and like or 1.5 inches wide and about 1 centimeter thick. That was the only single piece of meat down the whole stretch of that Donair. I was so disappointed.
Bastards.
$10 for that shit.
Bastards.
Watch out for green Donair trucks.
Yeah.
And if you have a green Donair truck and that wasn't you, paint it. Anyways, guys, this is a pretty fun episode. Give us a couple shout outs, comments. I want your feedback.
Check out that new website, www.lifeonlifestermspodcast, one word, lowercase.com.
Toodles, toodaloo.
See you Friday. Bye for now.
Bye.